Welcome back to the ARCA Menards Series preview show for this week's ARCA Menards Series race at Elko. I'm Casey Campbell, and you know that's ARCA Menards Series PR Director, Mr. Charlie Krall. Charlie, of course, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Casey. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
All right. Well, actually, we've had a lot of news today regarding ARCA because guess who's back? It's Taylor Gray. He makes his return after, of course, being in that car accident back in April. What is it like to have him back in the series?
Well, first and foremost, it's great because that means he's doing well. That's always our number one concern is, we would like for him to be happy and healthy and getting around on his own power. And, that's our number one concern. But now that he is back in tip-top shape, we're looking forward to having another good quality car on the racetrack, another good quality race car driver on the racetrack. And he is as aggressive as it gets when it comes to some of these young lions out on the racetrack. So it's only going to help as far as the quality of the show. I think having him on the racetrack will make things a lot more exciting.
I gotta say, 19 cars. That's pretty good. I know you said that. It's the writing's on the wall. You guys don't have as strong of entry lists at the short tracks than you do at the bigger tracks, but 19 cars, that's pretty good for you guys.
Well, so where we're at right now, Casey, is we are what we would like to do is see those numbers increase from year to year. Mm-hmm. And I think with the possible exception of Toledo, we've been up every week so far, 2021 versus 2020. That's good. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. The country is coming out of a terrible economic crisis that was, in no one's control. And, to see that there are people out there who want to come out and race, that's great. And, there's names on that entry list and teams on that entry list we haven't seen before. So yeah, we're very excited for this weekend. 19 cars at Elko is going to be a pretty good show. It's going to be great. It's a tight little bull ring. It's only 3/8 of a mile. It's going to be a very fast-paced race, but 19 cars is going to fill that racetrack up, and it's going to be a really exciting show. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah. So talk about Elko for a second. I know you mentioned the track. You guys were supposed to go there last year, but COVID-19 concerns, especially and restrictions in the state of Minnesota, didn't allow you guys to race at Elko last year. How does it feel for them to be back?
Well, it's great for a couple of different reasons. One, Minneapolis-St. Paul is a huge market. It's a lot of people who live up there, and it's a great place to go and race. Elko Speedway is an unbelievably beautiful little short track. Might be the shortest racetrack we go to, Casey, but it's a great facility. It's a big time facility for sure. And going up there is very important to us because there are, like I said, it's a very big media market, and it's as close as we're ever going to race to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, which is where Menards is based. So it's our sponsor's hometown race. It is the Menards 250. We want to go up there and put on a good show for the race fans in the upper Midwest, and it's just a further. It just further says that this country is coming back from last year, and boy, it really stunk not to go race at Elko last year. It's been a big part of our schedule, for the last decade, and we hated not going there last year. We're going to have an on-track autograph session this weekend. That is always one of the best photographs that we get all year long, is that front stretch just packed full of race fans, and we're looking forward to it. It's a very important market to us, Casey, for a couple of different reasons.
Yeah, of course you mentioned that autograph session, and it's definitely whenever fans go to a racetrack, they always want to see if they can meet some of their favorite drivers, and there's nothing like, especially if you're a kid, then you can get to go up and actually meet a driver who is probably a kid too. So how excited are you to see, a bunch of people walking through there, signing autographs, taking pictures? that's got to be the best thing. And you're and as a series promoter, it's got to make you feel good that you can get to meet a lot of drivers that are going to be winning races one day.
Well, the goal, everyone's goal, Casey, is for race fans to come out and have a good time. We want our track promoters and our partners to sell a ton of tickets, and access to race car drivers is part of what fans buy that ticket for. They want to come out and get out on the racetrack and take a picture of their race cars and take a picture with their favorite driver. And we haven't been able to do that for the last year. I think anybody who watched the race at Irwindale last Saturday night saw that there was a packed grandstand. And just like we're going to do this weekend, we had fans on the racetrack prior to the race for an autograph session. And it was very well attended. That is a big part of what we do. It's what differentiates us from just about every other racing series, in our segment of the sport, is that, prior to every short track race, we're going to let you come on down. We're going to let you meet your favorite drivers. We're going to let you take pictures of those cool race cars, and then we're going to go race. So it's great to get back to that, case. It really is.
Speaking of short tracks, I know you guys are going to embark on a schedule that you're going to see 4 straight short track races carried by our friends at Mav TV, and as well as Watkins Glen. So 5 straight weekends of ARCA racing, and the next 4 are going to be on short tracks. The last 2 actually, and we'll talk about more as this comes up. You guys are going to be the only race in town, it looks like, with the entire motorsports industry on break because of the Olympics.
Well, that means there's no excuses for not watching.
That's true. Just like there's no excuse to save big money at Menards.
Well, there's always reasons to go save big money at Menards, Casey. But yeah, looking ahead to Iowa, that's going to be a very important race for us. As far as we know for right now, that's the only race on the schedule this year at Iowa Speedway. And it's a lot of weight on our shoulders, to be honest. We want to go out there and knock it out of the park. That's a great racetrack. There's a lot of great race fans there. We have heard that there's been a pretty good response to that. A lot of race fans buying tickets to come out and watch that one. So, we're going to do our part. We're going to come out there and bring some good race car drivers and some good competitive race cars, and hopefully Mother Nature will do her part and give us a pretty good night for racing out there. But that's a big race for us. It really is. And then, looking ahead to the rest of the month, we've got Berlin the week before that. That's always a big race.
Yeah.
Talk about one of the most important short track venues in the country. Berlin is, right up there. It's been, one of those, leaders in the short track world for a very long time. And then to put the exclamation point on it on July 31st, at the end of the month, it's a doubleheader day for us. We've got, the race at Winchester and then the West Series racing at Colorado National later on that night. So a very big month of racing for the entirety of the ARCA Menards Series platform. Don't forget, Casey, that Iowa race is a combination race with the East Series. So
sure.
all of the series are in action this month, and then we go right from the oval tracks, the short tracks of the country, and the short tracks of our schedule right to our second and final road course race of the season. So yeah, there's a lot going on in our world right now. It's a very, 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 very busy time to be in the ARCA Menards Series.
Yeah, it's really a straight shot, really, until September. You guys are going to be really almost racing, with the exception of an off week in August. You guys are going to be almost racing pretty much every week.
Yeah, I've got one off weekend between now and October. So yeah, it's gonna be busy.
Yeah, of course. But of course you like that, so it's definitely.
Well, who's gonna cut my grass though, Casey? You want to come and do it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll get you a gift card for some McNuggets. How about that?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right.
So kind of going into talking about, we talked about the championship with Ty and Corey. We saw a battle with it, and it's seeming like, talking about it should be a surprise when Ty Gibbs doesn't win. Well, it is a surprise when Ty doesn't win, but Corey's leading the championship, and we're heading to the short tracks.
And he extended his lead. He extended his lead at Pocono.
He did.
Yep. So yeah, I will tell you, talking to his team immediately after that race, offering my congratulations, and team owner Billy Venerini said, if they want to win this championship, we're not laying down. They're going to have to go through us. So
Yeah.
I expect a dogfight
Yeah.
throughout the rest of the year. Ty obviously is one of the most talented young drivers we have seen come through the series in a while, regardless of the equipment that he's in. When he races in the ARCA Menards series, he's shown it when he goes and wins in the Xfinity series. That just doesn't happen. People don't just win in their debut. So he is a very talented young man.
Right.
But Corey Heim, also equally talented. He has had a great season. It's 5 wins to 3 wins. It's 7 top 5s to 7 top 5s. It's really, really tight up at the front of this field. And, I think anybody who follows along, kind of the greater picture here is, Corey was in a late model race over the weekend at Jennerstown, PA, and felt like he kind of got wronged on the racetrack a little bit. And he's not going to let people push him around. He's just not. So he's really kind of coming into his own as a driver and as a racer and as a person. You're kind of figuring out what you're willing to take and what you're not. And, not that he and Ty really bang fenders a lot on the racetrack, Casey, but I think that that's going to be a pretty intense rivalry throughout the rest of 2021. So, we still have half a season, a little bit more than half of our season yet to go. It's going to be something we're going to be keeping a very close eye on.
Yep. Of course, we got some other competitors. Taylor Gray, as I mentioned earlier, he'll be back. Jesse Love, coming from Slinger, he'll be in the field. Nick Sanchez, Thad Moffitt, Daniel Dye, they'll be all in the field. And also Adam Lemke from the Rhett Jones team is back.
And I hear you're making your debut sometime soon.
Nah, no.
Oh, I must.
When you make your debut, I'll make mine.
I must have been given some bad information on that.
You must have.
Yeah. Department. Okay.
Yeah. You did. So we'll see. All right. Charlie Krall, thank you so much for talking about Elko. We'll see you next week when we go to Berlin.
That's it, man. Let's rock, roll, and rumble.